Greetings and salutations, Focus Up family. Welcome to the June 6, 2026 installment of the Focus Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live first Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms. Catching up with us on replay. And we ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focus updates. I am Mr. Nice Guy. Nice as in the word Saint spelled backwards. And today I got Afro-agnostics, star of those Afro-agnostic videos on social media and co-star of Objective Deconstruction. We got Mr. Floyd X, the boss, the head of the Focus Up Network, co-star of Street Focus on Sundays at 6 p.m. with Brother Walk. And Brother Walk is not going to be on the show today. Brother Walk, star of Sex Talk Walk, Thursday at 9 p.m. I don't know if we're going to have infamous El Poo, star of Spin That Back, which is usually Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. No Spin That Back today. No First Lady J, no AB, no Student X. We still got an APB out for Student X, you know what I'm saying, to correct us on our information. But I do have a nice surprise. So for sure, I done locked it down for sure, Mr. Alpha Agnostics. So next Saturday, Objective Deconstruction, the Sassy Mandemic, it's going to be you, me, First Lady J, and AB. So that's gonna happen. All right. So we're gonna talk about it.
I'm not gonna have nobody from the manosphere on there. So that's one-sided.
They can be in the comments. See the thing about it, if you have discipline, see, Mr. Floyd X, you can come on that show. El Poo can come on that show. But Walk don't got the discipline. But Walk, he can make those comments and we'll address his points just the same. You know what I'm saying? It's just, man. that's how that has to be. But again, I promise you, it won't be a hit piece on the manosphere, but it will be a holding up a mirror to the face of the manosphere. So, It's objective deconstruction. We just deal with the facts anyways. But so that having been said, what's going on with you, brother? Afro-agnostics?
Oh man, nothing much, man. I was up. Then I fell back to sleep because I went to sleep late. And, man, the sleep god got me.
I understand it, man. You can't beat sleep. You know what I'm saying? It will win every night.
Yeah.
Mr. Floyd X, what's going on with you, sir? Looking spiffy and sharp. I said, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to start dressing up.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? You're just making me feel
certain way. Represent, man. I miss Student X. I miss Student X. Trying to represent.
All right, well, let's get to the get. First thing up, rest in peace, Foster Silvers. Now, just to give you a little bit of background, myself, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Foster Silvers is actually one of my cousins. The Silvers, the musical group, they're my cousins. They're from Memphis, Tennessee. Foster was, the Silvers, they have a history that starts back really. They were like on, I think, like the Danny Thomas show. They were on a Groucho Marx show, you know what I'm saying? Then ultimately they sort of like rebranded themselves the Silvers, and they were sort of like out there kind of competing on the likes of the Jackson 5. In fact, they were the voices for the Jackson 5 cartoon, which is kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, what happened was that the brother who's really the producer, the song creator, Leon Silvers the third. He was the one that created Misdemeanor. And Misdemeanor was supposed to be a song for the Silvers. But he said when he was trying to record it, that Edmund, who was the previous he's mainly the lead singer of the Silvers, his voice had matured. So he's like, we need more of a young sound for this particular song. So they gave it to Foster. And I mean, it was one of their biggest hits. And Misdemeanor, hip hop has been sampling that. You're talking about the DLC, SWV, you know what I'm saying? It's one of the dopest intros as far as, a song starting off, of all time. But, sadly, he passed away. I got the text from my cousin T-Ray, like right away. And I didn't want to put it out there on the internet. I just played a video. I just posted a video of Misdemeanor. But he was dealing with a prostate cancer. So, that's just, cancer is a real big thing. You just got to get out there and get checked. You know what I'm saying? It's just terrible things out there. So at the end of the day, their legacy is what their legacy. And I found out some real terrible things historically about what's going on. Don't do too much research on it. Just appreciate the music. Mm-hmm. But that having said, rest in peace to Foster Sylvers.
Rest in peace.
Condolences, man. Was he in the 60s or 70s or?
He was 64.
64. Wow.
64, yeah. So, and he went through some things. Like I said, if you go check out the internet, it's pretty tragic and messed up. But he was in seemingly in a good space, up at the end, to the extent that you could be under those circumstances. So, and he was the first one. Edmund Silvers had died like a while back. He died from lung cancer. So, that was the one that I had a real relationship. And their father, Sonny, you know what I'm saying? He died, not too long ago. So I would see Sonny like every Thanksgiving at Marcus house. But that having been said, rest in peace to them. And then we rest in peace to People Bryson. I wasn't very familiar with a lot of his music outside of the big hits, just because he did those 2 Disney songs that were like super big, and I believe he got a Grammy for each of them. So it was Beauty and the Beast movie. I've never seen it, and Aladdin, which I did see, but A Whole New World. So you know what I'm saying, and those were like humongous songs, and he was dealing with things.
Heard of Peabo Bryson, but I couldn't name a song of his, but I know that he was popular back in our high school days or younger days, but other than that, didn't know too much about him. I just knew the name, Peabo Bryson.
Yeah.
Well, let's say shout out to Big Cuz, and then someone else said Buenos Dias. Corey.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm like Floyd. I don't remember, I was trying to play a few songs. I know when I hear certain songs, I know those songs, but I haven't associated. He was the man though in the early 80s. If you read like the first biography on the rap group by Bill Adler, Run DMC, Tougher Than Leather, which was supposed to come out with the movie and the music album simultaneously, but it never happened. But anyway, one big problem with them getting the deal is that they were looking for Peabo Bryson type. You know what I'm saying? Like the androgynous. That was in the early 80s, and they could not get a deal from a Black independent label. That's why a lot of the early rappers were signed to white independent labels. But he was the man in the early 80s, though.
And what a great resurgence, you know what I'm saying, when he did those Disney flicks. Yeah. He was sort of like the Disney guy, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So any other big Disney movie that's gonna come out, he's probably gonna have another shot of it. But suffice to say, the brother passed on. Let's see, what do we got up next? We can't talk about the third person, infamous El up there. We don't even know who that person is. Mm-hmm. But what do we have up?
50 Cent. Let's talk 50.
Okay, so when you say 50 Cent, you're talking about so you're talking about really Daphne Joy. Okay.
Daphne Joy, okay. What's up with I got it. So Daphne Joy, there was a sex tape release or leaked. It was leaked out. This is 50 Cent's baby mother, and she came out. She had a Q&A from what I understand. She had a Q&A addressing the issue because the tape was leaked, and P Puff Daddy was in the tape, and then this other guy who's in this video right here, the Sly Diggler, that's his name, was a participant in that particular freak off. And the video got released. 50 had something to say about it. He spoke on it, shaming her to their son that they share together. He basically shamed her, in my opinion, talking about how your 8th grade son got to deal with. I'm trying to find a clip. I don't have it, so never mind. But what's y'all take on it? The release of the video and what's coming out about it, and talking about size matter. That's going to be a topic, I guess, because that's the main things people was talking about in this thing. Even Lord Jamar on Vlad talking about that shit. All right.
Oh man,
Lord Jamar, man, he ain't got no validity, man. He's done, man. Whatever he said doesn't even. But
I'm telling you, man, listen to that video, man. There was the old. He's back, man. Old Lord Jamar's back. But go ahead, brother. What are you gonna say?
Maybe he made some improvements. I don't know in this thought, because he was one of those ones that promoted voting for Trump out of spite. You know, he fell victim to that Republican propaganda and all of that stuff. But I think she said, Daphne, that's her name. She said that it was a situation where he was, the proper word for it is sextortion. And I don't know why 50 would be shaming her, because I believe everyone on this panel has been recorded or has taken compromised intimate photos. You know,
I doubt that Mr. Floyd X. I doubt that Mr. He seems too prude for that. But I don't know. What did you say? Did you?
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
I erased it. Ain't nobody putting that.
Now, if they were to trace back now, you should check out this video. Now, this documentary on Netflix called "The Most Hated Man on the Internet" about this guy named Hunter Murphy. And what he would do, he hired a team of hackers, and he would get men to send revenge porn to him, and then he would post it. He would dox them, and he would actually make money because he would bribe, his victims whose photos were online. And that is what he ended up going to jail because of. The only reason he went to jail is because of the hackers. And, just got to be kind of wary. We're in a digital age. And this goes back to 2010, like a dick pic is nothing. Everybody has done a dick pic. And, people do exchange pictures, but, you have to be very wary because these things, and these people were not even celebrities. But, if you got a celebrity on, I know Kanye had to pay his cousin $250,000 for a sex tape of him that he left on his laptop that his cousin stole. That's awesome. It can happen to anybody. So
is that the one that he gave? I'm sorry, go ahead.
50 shaming his baby's mom. That's exasperates the embarrassment even more. You need to show support because it can happen to anybody. I'm sure 50 has paid someone off at some point.
Man, and the thing about that those bribery type things, I remember there was a youngster who was basically exchanging pictures. They thought this was someone that they met and were like having a relationship, and it was all a con just to get these pictures and blackmail him. And that kid ended up committing suicide behind it. These people are monsters, and I'm just telling you right now, anybody that be like threaten me with that, I'd be like, put it out there. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that will not work with me. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it's a tragic situation. Because she said, look, I didn't agree for it to be recorded. I definitely didn't necessarily agree to be released. There is a grown folks business component to this. But at the end of the day, she goes, look, I was a person that really believed that I loved him and that he loved me. And I just felt like I was doing something that I felt that he wanted, even though it was sort of like outside of my boundaries. And when I was talking to Mr. Floyd X about this, I said, you can equate this to a female that doesn't like giving head, but does it to please their man. So, you know what I'm saying? It's, a lot of these people are.
Hold on, man. What type of show is this, man? It's fellatio.
Fellatio. So yes. So the bottom line is, my point is that there's certain boundaries that people just sort of like naturally function with, and they'll go outside of that just to please their other. So my point is that when people are sitting there going, how dare her? She complains about that. He did everything. He gave her this lifestyle, and now she's talking all of this other stuff. And I was saying, this is like saying a slave master saying, look, I give you a house, I give you food, I give you work. You know what I'm saying? I give you everything. So I should be able to just do whatever the hell I want with you. Of course, you don't agree with that. And it's really the same thing. It's not as an extreme, but my point is that, and then these people get into it, and then there's the Stockholm, component of it. You know what I'm saying? Where the victim just, they bottom line is, even though these atrocities are being done with them, they just sort of like roll with it, and they even don't to kind of go ahead. What you about to say, Mr. Floyd?
But we gotta ask. The reason we asked the question, is she a victim or a villain? Because she came out and she disparaged the size of Mr. P. Diddy's Dick Diddy, his thing, and and now people are claiming, even Lord Jamar or people that watch the video are saying that it's about 3 to 3.5 inches long. And like, in my mind, I can't believe that there's people walking around with that size penis. That's what I'm trying to say. I've never seen another man's penis. I can't sit there and say that I've seen men's penis and measured and compared to mine. I never do that. I don't even want to know about other people's penis. But to be out there and saying it's 3.5 and the video shows it, I guess, and everybody saying that it's small, it's kind of embarrassing. So is she a victim or a villain putting that out there like that?
Wait. By making the comment again, she was, if he was the person that was victimizing her, and she did frame it, I understand it. She did take a stab out of it. And honestly, other people out there with micro penises, they're catching some collateral damage behind it. You probably shouldn't be shaming people with that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, she just kind of did it subliminally, saying, does size matter? That's all she did. She didn't really say, but yeah, you got the gist of it. So there, there was a little bit of a dig there. But I mean, there is a such thing as micro penises. And again, that alleged 3, you said 3.5, that you give them an extra half, whatever. But they're saying that it was hard. They were saying that fully erect. We got to clarify, because a person can grow. You can be a grower, but that was the person who growed to 3.5. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I did on my research. I did it, and what does it say? Clinical studies involving thousands upon thousands of guys across the world showed that between 5.1 and 5.5 inches is the average penis size. So to be 3 inch and now they calling them itty bitty ditty is kind of embarrassing. That's kind of embarrassing.
Well, I'm gonna say if you exclude Asians, the average goes up.
Damn. Oh, shit.
You know why you did that. I know why you did that.
That's the tie-in. That's the tie-in.
But yeah, because and again, oh man, that was the good one, man. oh man, yeah, I just forgot what I was about to say. But
I don't watch videos when they put them out. I avoid them because it was just like when the R. Kelly tape was out. I had to tell like people that was related to me, like, hey, you can't have that. That's called child pornography.
Yeah,
so I don't want no parts of that. And if
you knew that back then.
Yeah, I was 20. I was at like 20.
Come on, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
when the tape came out,
I'm trying to look at no 11, 12-year-old girl. First of all, I'm not even trying to look at a grown-up getting pissed off.
Yeah,
but especially like a little girl, I'm like, yeah, nah, those are my boundaries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have face blindness, so I'm not good at recognizing people and stuff like that. Anyway, but after I just forget.
but having that tape or watching that is like contributing to revenge porn. You're participating in it.
You can't even share it. It's illegal to have it. It's illegal to share it. You know what I'm saying? There's all type of issues. But in this particular situation, motherfucker, I'm come back to it. I had it and then.
I would say that good or bad, that contributed heavily to the black economy, the underground economy, because a lot of the bootleggers,
they were paying.
Everyone had that tape. Everyone had it.
Yeah, but they were circulating. You're telling me the people were paying for that?
Yeah. When I came, because I was in college at the time, I can't remember exactly how old. Maybe I was around the same age as Floyd, and I came home that summer. I'm just being honest, including my dad. Everybody had that tape.
Everybody had it. That's what tripped me out. That tripped me out. That everybody had it.
They were selling the bootleg. Man was selling it. That was part of you want to buy Lion King, you want to buy this, and we got that R. Kelly tape.
Yeah. I
mean, I remember that being like with the case with the Pam and Tommy Lee and stuff like that, but that's a little bit different. You got grown-ups and doing stuff like that. But I remember what I want to say about Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar was saying he watched this video and he said that really the thing that kind of took him out is like the filmer, the person that's filming the film is focusing on the guy. And that's like kind of weird because, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what is it that you're deriving your pleasure from? If you're basically like a cut, you would think that he'd be more focusing on her. I mean, it's sort of like if you make porn for guys, you're going to be focusing on the women more than on the guy. But he was just talking about that. You see how the camera is, and I was looking at the comments. Did you see the video?
I think in regular, I haven't seen it, but I think in regular porn, the focus is kind of on the guy, at least at the very end.
No. You're talking. Put it this way: if there's porn where you're showing like from the back part, you're looking at the dude's balls and the butt. That's not porn for guys.
Well, at the conclusion,
I know what
the
you're
last
talking about.
sequence.
Yeah, you're talking about the denouement. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's different. You know what I'm saying?
You got to have that part. If you don't have that,
again, the emphasis has got to be the females for porn that particularly appeals to heterosexual men. Again, there's all types, and this is Pride Month. We'll talk about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. But I'm just saying. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm thinking about it. Like, where's the action happening? The in and out action is probably most likely the man doing it, and so that's probably why the camera was there. I'm just saying.
No. See, I understand you're not a connoisseur of adult or whatever, but I'm just saying that the bottom line is there's angles where you can have the woman, you know what I'm saying, and you can have the guy in the woman forefront, men in the back front type situation. Even if you have it on the side, you want all the woman to be shown, or at least most of the woman is showing. You really don't care much about how much of the man is showing, but you're definitely not going to be focusing on stuff like his butt, his legs, his back. You know what I'm saying? That those will not be the emphasis in a heterosexual, film. So
according to DJ Vlad, he said that that when he interviewed the guy, the Diggler dude, after the interview, he showed him the video and he explained that what happened. Him and Puff Daddy have very similar phones, and Puff Daddy, he said that Puff Daddy picked up his phone and started to record. So I mean, that would imply that Puff Daddy was focusing on the man part.
Yeah, exactly. So, and again, if he's a grown-ass man, if that's what he's about, that's what it is. I'm just saying, but the bottom line is that was a very telling aspect of it. And, I've definitely read that a lot of men that are into like cuck relationships, and again, this is grown people's business, a lot of times it's their own deficiencies, and this is a way of them taking pleasure in their loved one getting something that they don't have. So, you know what I'm saying? This does fit into that psychology of it. But again, grown folk business, except the fact that I do think she was a victim. I think that she was being exploited. I believe that she was, that's where that is.
So you saying if you can't give 7, you like to just watch a man give 7?
Well, to me, I think of it like this. A lot of men like looking at naked women. A lot of men like looking at porn. You know what I'm saying? Right or wrong, that's just something that a lot of men like to do. The thing about a cuck situation is that you get to see it in person. So again, if you feel like the person is your property and stuff like that, you have those hangups, then it's 100% not going to be for you. But if you're a person that really doesn't have that ownership concept, you know what I'm saying? Because you got these people that are in these relationships. What do they call it? The relationship where they upside down pineapple. I forget what they call that stuff. But the bottom line on the ship cruise, it's the bottom line of the people
Let's get off the subject. Our numbers are dropping. Let's get off of here. Our numbers is falling.
Yeah.
All right.
Bottom line is.
Let's talk about the Knicks and the Spurs. The Knicks, Spurs. I watched that game. I gave up like in the fourth quarter, but they did make a run to almost come back. Almost. Man,
that would have been a terrible collapse, by the way. But the Spurs are in trouble.
Yeah, because Cat is playing like a beast right now, and I'm just sitting there like, man, I didn't know he played this well, but he's like locking up.
He's stepping it up.
Yeah. And it's like it's hard to watch. I was sitting there watching that game like, come on, man, do all that shit you was doing. Just stand there and just dunk the ball in their face and nobody could do nothing. Alien, come on.
He's light in the pocket. He's light in the pocket. He's long, you know what I'm saying? He can do that to like a guard or something, maybe to a forward, but he really can't do that on a center. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the thing about it. Now, he can just reach over you and stuff like that. He can get by you. He did that a few times. But Mitch Robinson, I mean, he had success on him during the regular season, so it was going to follow that he was going to have success on him in the postseason. And with Cat's a shooter from outside, so he's going to draw him away from the basket. One of Wemby's greatest assets is that he's going to just be blocking every shot near the basket. But if the guy that you're guarding is a 3-point shooter, you can't leave him. And that's just going to open up the basket. So this is a terrible matchup. I've always said that this game is the YNs versus the Unks, and I'm Team Unks. That's what's up. So,
So
you know,
the Knicks gonna take it. You saying the Knicks gonna take it?
Oh yeah, the Knicks are gonna win. Oh, I mean, honestly, this might be a sweep. This might be a sweep. You know?
But they're on a 12-game winning streak. The Knicks right now, they haven't lost a game in this playoffs.
This is pretty good. This is not like the Lakers streak, but it's pretty good. It's pretty
good.
Don't
say it though, because I don't believe in numerology. Y'all making it true. They said every for the last 70 years, since the 50s, every final ending with the number 6 has been won by a team from the Eastern Conference.
Wow. Oh, yeah. See, it's numerics. Maybe they're not totally crazy.
Yeah, man.
Because says Wemby doesn't have the size to deal with Cat.
So I got to be careful how I respond to this. I want to say girth and like the way that he doesn't have the weight, to this, because he has these real centers. The mass. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Pause.
Yeah. But I want the Spurs to win. Straight up, I'm hoping. But after the last night game, I'm like, man, but they did make a run and come back. And I was like, hopefully they go into overtime. If Wemby would have made that one shot at the end, they would have won the shit. But he missed that last shot. So.
What do y'all feel about Wemby walking? Like, I don't like to see. I don't know. I just don't like to see players walking to the other. Like
I never paid much attention. As long as he's
you're talking about he's not running back after plays. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I didn't see it. I didn't see that. Oh, I don't like that. Kareem used to always get clowned about that, about the cherry picking and stuff like that. They even made a joke on Airplane about it.
Shaq too. But towards the end of his career, Shaq was like, man.
Well, honestly, it's like so. I just hate to say it, unnatural to be that big, that it's like great stresses on your body and stuff like this. Yeah. So they're dealing with all type of, even just the little guys, they're big compared to us. They just look little compared to those other giants. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot on your body.
Yeah. Wear and tear.
And he's a big gangly guy. You know what I'm saying? So he's whatever. But the bottom line is he moves very fast for his size. He's just got just all the skill packages. What he doesn't have is just the size and strength, the width and strength to compete with the big guys down low. I mean, he can just shoot over him, and that'll be his strength. But ultimately, if he puts on those pounds, then he's gonna take it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, he go build out. He's still young. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump to Pride Month.
There you go. So why don't you talk about this?
I wasn't. So Pride Month, okay, it brings to me this issue.
Wait a second. What are your plans? Take that. What are your plans off?
What are your okay? I do plan to go this time. It's interesting. I'm from the Bay Area.
Okay.
Work with organizations, ally, for years, but I've never been to Pride. I just never been able to make it. And I think this Pride, I appreciate that. I think is going to be real different because of who's in office, Bone Spurs. So it'll be more not just a celebration, but a lot of resistance, a lot of protest and stuff involved in that. But my issue too with this, with Dave Chappelle, again, he juxtaposed the Black community with the LGBT community, which is not smart at all, because it's like juxtaposing heterosexuals to the Black community, or asexual to the Black community, or whatever sexual orientation you are. It doesn't make sense, because all of these groups exist within the Black community. But
let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Brother Afro. My understanding of Pride Month, I used to avoid it because I heard people say that it was men out there scantily clad, kissing and hugging, and people showing their body parts. It sounded like a freak show. Is that what the Gay Pride parade is, particularly?
I think that's what it evolved to initially. It started in '69, so Marsha Johnson is at the center of it.
1969. Just think about that. I just read that last night. I was like, why
That's
didn't really going back that far?
That's
serious. That's how far it's going back.
That's a year after Martin King was assassinated. That's the same year Fred Hampton and Mark Clark were assassinated. So it's just in that context. So this, you could be arrested for being gay in New York at that time. Yeah. And some of the mafia Italians, they opened up bars that catered to LGBTIA because they didn't have anywhere to go. But the police would frequently bust these bars and just, arrest people and harass people. So it was born out of that resistance. There was a particular Stonewall rebellion, and Marsha Johnson, a black person, was at the center of it, and people of color are at the center of it. So a lot of times, black nationalists, folks for black liberation, they try, like Dave Chappelle did a successful job of separating the black community from the LGBTQIA. I'm not necessarily, I'm for the black LGBTQIA, and because that's an important part of black liberation.
Man. Yeah, I think I know for me, I have a stigma because when I was a child, my pops used to say, "If you gay, call me from San Francisco." So it was like you avoided at all costs. That's real. That's real shit.
Yes,
yeah, but now
all of us have admitted that we've had that programming and stuff like that. There's certain things that make us uncomfortable. I remember telling Afro Ignacio told me, he's like, when you told me that you had love for me, like from a respect, he's like, my masculinity still felt kind of funny by even taking that compliment, even though I know how you meant it and stuff like that. I'm just saying that, look, I still think the way I was raised, so it has an impact on me, but I can still compartmentalize it after a fashion. And at the end of the day, I don't want to see anybody oppressed. Adults need to be able to do adult stuff. Mr. Floyd X, I wouldn't be comfortable out there seeing scantily clad dudes and stuff like that. I don't really need to see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, to me, just like honestly, like the P-Valley and stuff, these movies and stuff like that. When they have these scenes like this, stuff like that, I'm not okay with that.
Yep.
But I'm okay with getting rid of the heterosexual scenes too. You know what I'm saying? If I'm saying, let's just stick to the story. I don't need to. If I need to do porn, let me go to porn, like professional porn. You know what I'm saying?
Like I was saying, it was born of resistance. So that was the original character of it, but then it devolved into something. It depends on where you are.
That's different. Negative.
Devolved, yeah. That you would see. I mean, it's celebratory, but it became something more like Freaknik in different places. But you still had that element in it. But I think this one is going to be more protest because of who's in office and what they've been doing.
Well, good luck. I'll do what y'all do and have fun.
Ouch. Yes, but still, grown up business. Yeah, and honestly, be proud of what you are. If that's what you are, hold your head up high. Is this a commercial time?
Already?
Score, Bar and Lounge, 7123 Franklin Boulevard, Sacramento, California. You in Sacramento, go check them out. They got good food, good drinks, a whole bunch of screens. You can watch games and sports and whatever going on. I know it ain't no games today, but go check them out when you got some time. Score, Bar and Lounge.
That's gobealive.org. Go get you some of that black honey. And if you want it in person, go to the Petty Vice in Venice or to the Afro City Marketplace at the Crenshaw Mall. Salute, Sister Nidra. Give no. Yeah, here you go.
All right. I got to put the phone number at the beginning of the video so I can cut that video. I'm tired of waiting for the whole commercial to play. But all the brother, y'all saw the number. Call them if you need something delivered cross country, east to west, coast to east, all that stuff. Call the brother.
Focus Up Network. Salute. Membership. Salute. Appreciate you.
Focus Up show every Saturday, 9 a.m. We on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Kick. What else we on? It's some other one, but go check us out on those primarily. And salute to all of our Rumble watchers, all of our YouTube watchers. We greatly appreciate you all. And we got a comment from Big Cuz about our last topic. He says, we don't feel comfortable because it is not natural. I know people got some. I know that's the argument. You want to speak on it, Brother Afro?
I mean, he has no valid argument. I mean, it kind of goes back to the nature versus nurture thing. I mean, nurture wins every time. I don't know what, like, oral sex natural? Come on, tattoos natural? It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's your argument, Big Cuz. There you go. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Ebola. The Ebola outbreak in the DRC and Uganda. They said I had the numbers. Man, as soon as nice guy leave, I started getting lost and trying to find.
Sorry about that. I had something that was happening. It was a call that was coming in. But yeah. Now I was gonna address that. I didn't know if you wanted with the Big Cuz thing about that, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, Big Cuz, people wouldn't do it if they didn't just naturally come to it. You know what I'm saying? There is some natural element to it for those that are hardwired that way. But anyways.
Yeah, and walking upright wasn't natural for us. Bipedalism is not natural.
Well, of course, he probably doesn't subscribe to that because that's probably more of a religious thing. He probably doesn't think that we started out that way. But yeah. So
folks believe in genetics when it comes to paternity tests, when it comes to like solving crimes, but all of a sudden, when it comes to evolution of I don't know this. Okay.
Well, I mean, with all due fairness, we always have interpretation of the data that we have, and then we realize that the interpretation that we had at this point is that the correct interpretation. So just as you go from
there is no interpretation. I mean, you share 99.9% of your DNA with chimps. Okay, that means you're genetically related to them. Period. Hands down. That's genetically related. That doesn't mean that you necessarily genetically derived. That's a logical conclusion. That's a logical supposition. But again, I mean, I can come up with a bunch of, we don't want to go too deep into this, but I'm saying I can come up with a bunch of interpretations where that could possibly explain for that. So there's no possible, there's only one.
Come on now. It's one thing to say that it's a probability that this is the case. You can't tell me that it's not conceivable. This is not
You spoke about your cousin from Memphis earlier. Mrs. Real, why is that your cousin?
He is my cousin because his father, Sonny, is the brother to my grandmother, Vera. So that was our relationship. So y'all share somewhere down the line. Y'all share a common ancestor. That's what makes you related, right? What makes us related? Yeah, we're related because we share a common ancestor. Yeah, but again, you're assuming the genetics just because they could. First of all, they could just have the similar type of dynamics. No, that's not a function of whatever. That's how that school of thought functions. I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm just saying that for you to say that this couldn't be interpreted a different way, I'm saying that that's almost like a religious position that you're taking. Because again, if you want to let's just make up something. I hate to do this because I try to keep things secular and not be religious. Mm-hmm. But let's just pretend that let's say that God exists and that God creating all of these things. The fact that God would have similarities in this creation and that creation doesn't necessarily show that this is derived from that. It's just basically that this template, this information, this is the same stuff that's basically been used for this creation. It's sort of like when we used to play with G.I. Joes, you had maybe about 20 different characters, but there was only about 4 different molds. So they would basically just take this mold and put a different color hair on it, different outfit, and this was ever. So again, if you're working with the same material, it could testify for material throughout. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, like I said, I'm not saying that that's the
I don't
case.
want to detract this. I just got one question for you in the audience. Where do you get your DNA from?
God. So
From
let's
your
go back
parents.
onto yeah,
From
where
your
did they get it
parents.
from? It keeps going back
Okay.
to whatever created it. And again, like I said, I don't want to take a religious
Okay,
position,
okay.
but I'm just saying it came from some source. We agree with that. And again, for the most part, I agree with you, but you know, that's for another show for us to
I
have.
got you.
But yeah.
Let's jump to the Ebola. The Ebola breakout. I had to okay. Yeah, they say the Ebola outbreak 2026, the World Health Organization report nearly 500 confirmed cases and 84 deaths across the Congo and Uganda. I know that earlier that when it first broke out that Trump was trying to redirect all American citizens who was coming from Africa to a different country. I believe it was to Uganda. They were going to redirect them, but then Uganda came and said, nah, you got to send them home. And people were saying that how illegal it was for him to think that he could send the potentially infected to a country in Africa as opposed to them being able to come to their country of origin or whatever. That was some insane shit right there. What's your
I
take
mean,
on
it's not too different from him saying Gaza. Like, you know what? Those people, you know, it's so crazy there. We should just be able to repurpose them and send them to other places in the Arabic, you know, whatever. And that way they don't have to deal with, you know, the strife in Israel and stuff like that. You're just gonna basically move some people just because it fits, you know, whatever. But go ahead, Afro-agnostics.
That's interesting. Because Western Uganda, you know, some people there also have this new, you know, deadly strain. So he's going to send the citizens of the United States there. It just doesn't make. This is a new strand, by the way. You know, the origin of Ebola virus period comes from, what was it? Bats. I think bats in the Congo. So I mean, it's just really exasperated because of the lack of transportation infrastructure. And I think a lot of it is driven by, it's just driven by, the reason I think this exists because it's driven by the dictates of capital. You know, the mass deforestation, all of these are driven by business interests and business needs, which brought, you know, us into closer contact with species that they've been living there for thousands of years and they don't have contact with these species that are in the interior or in these places that are, you know, that have been, you know, barriers between humans and some of these species. So, and just to kind of connect that to the capital of the United States, Trump, and a lot of people applauded this. I think Student X was one. They clapped about this, about the United States pulling out of the WHO, the World Health Organization, and that depleted the funds, I think, by 21%, a couple of billion dollars. You know, and that's the basic global infrastructure that's needed, that's required to address this before, you know, to contain it. You have to contain this. So I understand the need to contain, but you don't contain in another country. You can have them offshore, you know, near the border of the United States. But anyway, you need the World Health to contain this. You know,
now that's the that sounds like the argument that Senator Cory Booker was making in the Rubio hearing when he was trying to ask them about Trump cutting these fundings, which made it difficult. Those which made it difficult to what's the word, like catch it early. Mm-hmm. Early detection.
But yeah, early detection, containing it, it's just addressing it. Again, you know, you can deal with a problem in its infancy, or you can deal with it when it just explodes out. I mean, it's basically like cancer. You know what I'm saying? You got early detection. That's why it's important. You can't just be under a rock. You know, you're talking about America first and stuff like that. You know, look, we live in a global society where things over there are going to affect things over here, and we need to deal with them at their best place to deal with, you know what I'm saying, at ground zero, so to speak, you know, patient zero, so to speak. So these are the things that help us. I mean, again, this is a guy that has basically torn down these agencies that are built to deal with these things. It happened with COVID. Like after the Ebola, that happened under Obama's thing, he created a whole commission to deal with this stuff. He's like, there's going to be another outbreak. We don't know what it's going to be, but we'll have this together. And Trump saw this, these resources. And he goes, oh, these are wasted. We're just going to dissolve this whole agency. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're just going to load up on weapons because, we need to worry about the military and stuff like that. And then we have COVID. So that was a big part of it. So I'm just saying that at the end of the day, what you do has repercussions. You know what I'm saying? So it's better to deal with something in its infancy than dealing with it when it just balloons into a bigger problem.
So now I've never been to Africa, but I want to go to Africa. But sometimes these stories do draw concern because then you hear about malaria and having to take shots and having to drink water. Does this affect any of you guys? So have y'all been to Africa? First, maybe I start there. Have y'all been to Africa yet?
Afro?
The continent of Africa.
Desafortunadamente, no, I have not. Detroit is the closest thing that I've been. Mississippi in Detroit. I honestly, I was supposed to go so many times, man, but I was at that time. I was just too. I didn't have the money, man. I didn't have the resources, and so.
My daughter and her husband, they went to Ghana recently, you know what I'm saying? And I honestly was very interested in going to Ghana. I know that Ghana will absolutely accept, like if we wanted to just be citizens in Ghana, they just would accept it, right? There's some places where you got to at least prove your lineage and stuff like that. But as I understand, Ghana will accept Black people, and nationalize them. That's my understanding of it. I've never been to Africa, but honestly, I'm not a fan of going anywhere where I can't take the things that I would prefer to take. So, without getting into details, that I'm just saying that I'd just rather not to be at the mercy of some other foreign dynamic where, like, let's say you go to some country and spit on the ground, and now you're like doing slave labor and some whatever. So I'm just saying that I'm not a believer in traveling. Me and my wife, we went on a cruise to where we went to Mexico and stuff like that. We did not get off the boat because that was when they was kidnapping Americans and stuff like that. We know that they don't kidnap Black people. Well, I don't know, maybe they do, but at the end of the day, I was like, yeah, we're not getting off the boat. Hi, Mexico. Bye, Mexico. That's what it was.
Everybody, my kids, my ex-wife, all my circles they've been. I just never been. But that's Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana who set that precedent to dual citizenship for Black people from the United States and from the whole African diaspora. Is your daughter's husband, is he Ghanaian?
He is no, he's a Haitian.
Oh,
Haitian
okay.
He's very rah. Been trying to get him on the show. Big proponent of Dr. Umar. Been financially supporting his school. He's been debating me from the beginning about the Russians. As far as the Ukraine, saying that that they were the ones that the Ukrainians were the ones by joining NATO. They were the ones that fought and Dunbar and all this other stuff. So he'd be making a lot of those arguments and stuff. But he's a bright, intelligent dude. She found a good one, you know what I'm saying? He found a great one, but at the end of the day, I love my son and my daughter, so that's what's up.
All right, well, be careful out there. This Ebola and diseases of that sense. Be careful, exercise caution, wash your hands, and all the other good stuff. But let's jump to our main story. The Cyrus Carmack-Belton, a 14-year-old young man who was shot down in his back by an Asian store owner in what was that, South Carolina? I think it was Columbia, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah. He was shot down and he died. And the father, the one who killed the 60-year-old Asian guy who shot and killed him, was just found not guilty. To watch the verdict being read, and it was just heartbreaking watching the family break down and cry. And I mean, I understand that their family side, the Asian side, kept a straight face, didn't do too much acting or excitement and things of that nature. But it was painful to watch. Watching the son on the stand pissed me off. I wanted to grab that dude by his neck and, do a little something with it. But it was pissful. What's y'all take on this whole thing?
First of all, let's dial it back a little bit. If you haven't seen the actual video of what happened, this kid goes into the store. He reaches in and grabs some bottled water or whatever. Then he puts it back. you can see like they immediately start like walking over and watching. I think something like this, the female, whatever, goes over. She's just sitting there watching them. I experienced this before. You know, like when I go into a store, if I'm wearing a jacket, I always open up my jacket so they can see inside my jacket. You know, it's just I understand that they're just watching. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, as an older person, that's probably not the issue like it was when I was younger. But the bottom line is they're sitting there like watching them, and he just sort of like just at some point just like kind of checks down and just leaves the store. Doesn't what he grabbed, you see on the video, he put back. They are accusing him of stealing water. They chased after this kid for water. Ended up shooting him. Now they're saying that, you know, shooting him in his back, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Now they end up saying that, you know, he had a gun on him. And I think he did have a gun on him, or at least they found a gun or whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, there's a whole type of reasons why a person have a gun on them. I'm not going to get into the politics of whether that's right or wrong. I understand it might be illegal, but you don't know what that kid is dealing with as far as, you know, why he might have a gun. But again, he did not point the gun, did not do none of that stuff. Like they said, the only people that testify that he did anything with that gun had the last name of Chow. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else was saying that wasn't the case. And again, he was shot in his back. And again, you're chasing him out of your store over water.
And the reason they said they let him go because he got not guilty because he claimed that he was shooting him because he aimed the gun at his son. And he shot the father shot the boy, but he said that the boy was pointing the gun at his son. And I know another point on it. I heard an expert or a lawyer, one of the lawyer prosecutors say the prosecution failed because they did not humanize that young man. They didn't go into the details of what he was like in school, have his family speak. He said if he would have saw it, he would have did it completely different because the defense team humanized the Asian guy and went into all details how he came to this country, bought a business or started a business from the ground up and humanized him. And he said that's how they lost. But what's your take on all this, Brother Afro?
I'm keep hearing mixed reviews as far as the jurors. Where I know the county where it took place was majority white. I think black people make up 16 or in the teen %. And you know, so it's hard to get. But I'm hearing that there were 5 black jurors, and that's hard to imagine. And have anyone heard the composition? But then I heard that there were 0 black jurors. Anyone know?
I don't know.
Okay. But I know that the case seemed very biased because they were allowed to present some social media posts of the brother Cyrus with that particular gun that was found, you know, that was found on him. But they were not allowed to present the history of Chow. Chow has a jail record. I mean, I'm not a jail record, but he has a record. In 2016, he shot a lady, or no, I'm sorry, he shot at a lady 6 times. And then in 2018, and this is over some beer. And in 2018, he shot another black person twice, shot him in the leg over some oven cleaner. Outside the store in the car. So I mean, you know, I think the police had to talk. Hey man, like you got to dial it like it's. You can't just, you know what I'm saying, get some insurance. You know where you're located, working class neighborhood. I mean, how
was this not relevant? You know what I'm saying?
Go
ahead.
But
go ahead. I'll keep on going.
No, it's pretty much. I mean, that's the essential message of. It's interesting. I would like to know where Student X or Candace Owens or where they stand in their position on here, because they're more likely to condemn or to support Child for self-defense, but condemn Kamalo Anthony. You know, he didn't practice self-defense. As far as I'm concerned, Cyrus, he knew in his mind that he didn't steal anything. He's wondering, why are these people chasing me 130 yards? That's a football field. This is a 60-year-old man. You got that type of energy? You need, like, he's chasing this dude down. He's wondering what for. At that point, to me, it becomes an issue of self-defense.
You know, no question. I mean, it's like the Trayvon Martin situation. You can say whatever you want. Like, you know, now that you're in, and Zimmerman is in this fight with this dude and he's got a gun. Now it's a him or me situation. But I go, guess what? You created that situation. You don't get that's not a defense for you anymore. You created this situation. He created that situation with that kid and killed that kid. Honestly, I don't want to say it.
It's a sad situation.
He wouldn't even made it. This wouldn't even made it to court. His whole family, just that's just on everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so and honestly, the jury, shame on them. I don't care about. There's no way that you could have postured this or positioned this or whatever to just, you know what I'm saying? I shame on that jury. That's just complete disrespect for Black lives. This is the whole reason why people try to tell you that Black Lives Matter, because for some reason people think it's just okay to make a mistake if you take a Black life.
Yeah.
And that was a conservative county, so yeah, a lot of times the demographics might not even matter as much because I think it's a Trump voting county. Yeah.
So let's talk about the aftermath of it. After this occurred, there was a lot of people calling for the boycott of Asian businesses, and we have a video we want to share with y'all of an Asian. What do you call it? What do you call it? Nice guy, the Asian challenge or the?
Oh yeah. I don't remember how I framed it, but it was basically. Please do. So go ahead. Yeah. Please do play this.
Where is it at? Asian challenge.
I love when the Black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the Black culture and the hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods. We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty ass attitudes, okay? Please boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
Okay, let me first say that I'm for doing every motherfucking thing he just said. I hate the nails. I hate the Jordans, all of that stuff. I mean, I saw this video. I got so upset. I literally was like on every single Asian business. I was like, every Asian business that wants our business needs to drop a counter video to this for us to continue doing business with these people. I mean, this was so ridiculous. This dude is sitting there talking about all these things, Chinese electronics and stuff like that. Does he understand that was all American resources that went over there to China to build all that stuff? All of that stuff is American, not only ingenuity, but training, etc. You're just the labor. You know what I'm saying? So it just, this was such a ridiculous position. And an immigrant will come here with resources as an adult. It's a hell of a lot easier for you to start a business, grub state, as an adult, as opposed to a person who's been here turning 18 that doesn't have anything. That college costs money. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of this comes down to resource. But this is so absolutely offensive and insensitive that it's just like that joke that you made earlier today. I was feeling it. I was really feeling it. Again, I love Asian culture. I love Asian people in the right, but that type of bullshit, I'm used to white people having that ridiculous energy. That was kind of like blew my mind to see that, and I'm like, fuck that guy. Like whatever he does, whatever business he has, for the rest of his life, he should be barred. Black people should not have nothing to do with him. Not him, not his parents, not his sister, not his brother, not his daughter. I'm talking about economic genocide.
I know in the Nation of Islam, we was taught to create our own businesses. I asked my wife last week, I say, do you think it's the responsibility of every Black person to start a business? She sat and thought about it. She was like, yeah, and it only makes sense that we need to start our own businesses and build our own. And I don't want to broad brush or react out of anger towards one Asian dude saying that. But it's like we have to reevaluate where we are as a Black people and be like, you know what, we do need our own business. I know for me, I've been building or trying to establish building businesses for years. I know I'm only as good as my results. So I'm still here, but I think we all need to build black businesses and look to be able to hire black people, continue on, and not out of anger. Just like, hey, we got our own. We take care of our own. Find a black business, support that black business. And, if you don't have to go to an Asian for hair supply, go to a black hair supply. I know there's 2 black supplies here in Sacramento that I recommend all the time for people to go to. You don't have to go to Asians only.
I'm doing all that bullshit all together. Afro-agnostics.
No, I just want to say really quick, the penis thing, that wasn't a joke. That's a fact. Just generally speaking. But as far as businesses, I haven't done the numbers. Someone live out there can do the numbers. Probably only 10% or less than 10% of the Asian community are business, owners. And that's pretty much the same with any community. 90% of people don't have businesses. But as far as people don't like the way he was, first of all, I think he was upset. He's responding to some black people saying that we should boycott Asian businesses, which I think is ridiculous. That particular business, definitely, that gas station where that shooting took place, it should definitely be boycotted.
They destroyed it. Yeah, it's done.
But people, this is the argument I was having with Student Next. They try to juxtapose the black community to the immigrant community and say, look at what they do. You don't do what they do. Bitch. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead. Keep that energy.
That's how you started off.
Go ahead.
Where was the first Chinatown? San Francisco. You think those poor ass slum living, it was a slum. No one wanted to go there but Asian or Chinese people. Okay. They got an infusion of capital from rich white capitalists and from the emperor of China, you know what I'm saying, because of the diplomatic relationship between the U.S. and they created Chinatown. It wasn't Chinese that did it single-handedly. They didn't have the resources. The Chinese living in San Francisco. It was outside forces pouring money into Chinatown. The architecture of Chinatown is the invention of a white man. There's no places like that resemble that in China itself. They just made that shit up. It's a fabrication. Anyway, and then it became duplicated around the United States. And one reason for the success of Chinatown and Chinatown type communities is I'm gonna just say it, they fucking use slave labor. Labor from China. Motherfuckers come over here, can't speak a lick of English. What can you do but to slave for somebody else? That's what they do. And I've talked to Asian people intimately about that. And it takes them 3 or 4 years to acquire the language, to get used to the culture. Then they can go forth from there if possible. And then there's another slew of immigrants who don't know anything. So black people, that's another resource. Language, our language was taken from us. They use that language to exploit it for the labor for what it's worth. So this dude, he doesn't really know what he's talking about when he's, all people are essentially the same. When you see different outcomes, it's due to different forces impacting those people.
Man. Not only that, the black communities that we actually did create or at least have together, whatever resources, a lot of them were burnt down. Some of them were buried under a lake. You know what I'm saying? Some of them were eminent domain turned into a 10 freeway. I'm just saying that so many times where we organized to do the type of thing that this cat was talking about, this country absolutely destroyed and took that away. So it's just not just the issue of slavery. It's not just the issue of things from the far past. We're talking about things in the near past, the recent past. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That has a direct impact on us as a people. So instead of having the sensitivity that he should have about basically a kid being killed by a person that just went out of pocket. Honestly, China Mac really did a really good video. He really did a good video where he basically goes, look, that dude was wrong. He says, and I understand that you guys are upset. You have every right to be upset, but let me show you some things. And he showed some videos where some Asian people were like some lady was just punched by some man some black dude and killed, you know, all this other stuff. And he goes, look, we're not going to blame all you. You can't blame all of us. You know, we understand the outrage. At the end of the day, that guy's an ass. We canceled that guy, but, you know, we still should be functioning and respecting and whatever. And at the end of the day, that's the way I feel about everybody. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to say shout out to the Red Berets, you know, who patterned themselves. These are Asian people who patterned themselves after the Black Panther Party. My friend Greg was a part of that group. They were bringing, you know, international attention to, we're trying to duplicate like the Bandung conference that Malcolm talked about, Black, African and Asian people coming together, working against our common enemy, which was the Western powers. You know, the Black Panther Party, they gave out free copies of the Red Book, Mao Zedong. So I mean, there's a lot. I mean, this whole thing that they're just unified. First of all, no one thinks of themselves as Asian until they come over here, and they don't even think of themselves. I'm Chinese, I'm Vietnamese, I'm Cambodian. I mean, come on, man! All those deaths in Korea, still to this day, Vietnamese, and you trying to say y'all have unity? Y'all killed millions of each other, but y'all got unity. Come on, man! Y'all just like any other people.
Man, it's like that.
Yeah.
All right, we gonna end it there or what, y'all?
No, we're going a little bit longer.
What's his name? That dude what's his name? He's a chigger though, right?
Ouch. You talking about
China Mac. Wow.
Look at the name too. Yeah, wow. Come on, man. She's a chigger. No comment. On top. No, I'm just
but he does have an interest sort of like in the Black community, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, that where he have a greater sensitivity, but again, he was still being sensitive to his own community as well. So, I mean, I just thought it was, to me, it was the type of video that I felt like really was necessary for a lot of people to sort of like get out from under this dude's video. Because I'm just telling you, if you go check out YouTube, please do, and all this other stuff, you're gonna see Willie D, you're gonna see Godfrey, everybody's responding to this. I mean, it's they're like almost more outraged about this dude than, you know, this terrible verdict, just because, you know, they kind of expect that stuff. But the gall of this dude, you know, sit here talking about Jordans and Nikes, I'm like, man, I don't give a damn about no Jordans. You know what I'm saying? I wear Timberlands. I wear fighting boots.
When you put it out there, the Asian boycott child, I thought you were saying it was coming from Black people, but when I saw that, I understood what you were saying. He's challenging us.
Yeah, he said, "Please do." Yeah, my blood was going. I lost it, man. But you know, again, you got to be better than that. We can't, you know, we can't basically take some individuals, idiots, you know, just ignorance, and this apply that against the whole culture. You know what I'm saying? That's literally the definition of prejudice and bigotry and all this stuff that just basically undermines humanity. I see you playing this stuff. Don't go just yet. We're talking about this. Let's talk about Naomi Ahsoka and her Black Party. This is kind of related because she's half Asian. You know what I'm saying? Half Black.
I just thought that. Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
I thought we was gonna do the Drake too. I don't know. So.
Well, we'll see. Well, because I didn't queue up the objective deconstruction, so I don't know if we're kind of a go for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even create the meme or anything. So to that extent, but about this Naomi Ahsoka, so she organized a Black party, right? And you know, a lot of times when people say like a white party, it's usually like you wear all white clothing, you know. But this was a Black party that was like for a bunch of Black people, and you know, the other people took it some type of way, and this reminded me. Back in high school, Hamilton, a lot of people from the Focus Up Network came through there, you know what I'm saying? But I remember we had a prom, which was the official prom that was, you know, that was the work of the student body. And then DJ Damu, he had a Black prom. And the reason why it was a Black prom was this, you know, honestly, the music was just going to be different. You know, they're playing Tiffany at the school function prom, and they're playing, you know, Black music, hip hop, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff. So it was a big difference in culture. So I'm just saying that it was an opportunity for us to celebrate that culture, to connect on that culture, and it wasn't about a middle finger to them. It's like, look, their thing is their thing, but our thing is our thing. So I commend the sister for putting this together. You shouldn't have to apologize for nothing. I understand it would be crazy if white people say, "Hey, let's just do a party with all white people." But you know what? They don't have to say that. That just happens quite naturally all the time. You know?
Let me just say salute to Naomi Osaka. I appreciate her Black militant attitude, and she always like standing firm. because she brought it up about her father being discriminated against on tennis courts, and you know she always pays respect to her mother and father, and she's a great representation of black sisters. I just hate that she had a baby from that rapper dude. She should have never messed with that clown. But salute to Naomi Osaka and all she do. I wish her much success. And Serena's coming back. She's going to play a game.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, some of the most militant BSU's, Black Student Unions, are on white campuses. You know, because it's to, you know, she was saying how much she struggled as a black tennis player. Like she would go to these parties and she was the only one, you know, just in this white space. So she wanted to create a space to welcome other black players and people associated with that sport to kind of, you know, show some group camaraderie and, you know, support for each other. I mean, it's very normal. I mean, I think this goes back to those old slave laws, you know, like they don't like to see five, you know,
together.
Yeah, congregation of black people. I remember when I was on the job, man, it was like sometimes I'd be there, a brother come down, we'd talk, then another brother, and then, you know, the white folks started looking. He's like, hey, man, we got to decongregate, man. They don't like too much of us coming together. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what are y'all up to? What are you doing? You know, I think this is just a larger version of that.
That's the 100% why I moved where I moved. I told my wife, I said, look, I want to be around black people. I want to live in a black neighborhood, but I don't want to live in no ghetto. I want to live in a nice, decent black neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And that was
people in the ghetto don't want to live in the ghetto.
For real. I mean, you know, there's accountability. You know, hey, Mr. FootX, we got to do a little bit longer because we didn't talk about Jay-Z. He brought up Drake. We got to talk about Jay-Z.
Okay.
Jay-Z at this Roots picnic, you know what I'm saying? Yo, man, he did his thing. You pulling up something?
I'm trying to find the picture. The big question was, how did he get the dreads into an afro? That was the biggest question. How do you do that? Is that doable? I've never seen that.
How do you undread it? Yeah, exactly. If they're dreads,
I've never seen that.
Yeah, so hey, when you're rich, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, special technology.
I'm not gonna lie though, I was out shout out, but I was a little jealous, man. Like, how this dude, because he's in his mid-50s, right?
Oh, he's like, he's 59.
He gotta be 55 or plus.
He's like 50. He's something like he's the same age as Big Daddy Kane. We think about Big Daddy Kane as the generation right before Jay-Z, but they're literally the exact same age. You know what I'm saying?
How old is that?
I want to say it's 59. I can look it up right
now. Oh, not 59. Hold up. How old is
Jay-Z age? 56.
56. Okay, that kind
so there's no way Big Daddy Kane is 56. Hold on a second. I read something that said they were the same age. I saw a video that said that. Yeah, he's 57. So 56, 57. Yeah, that's not too. Yeah, whatever. I mean, honestly, yeah, they're not too much older than me.
I think he went to Turkey. I'm not mad, but I'm just saying that's a head full of hair for an older gentleman.
Yeah, I don't got that. Yeah.
Somebody in the comment asked, "Is that Stevie Wonder?" I'm assuming he's talking about me.
Yeah.
I'm not Stevie Wonder. No, that's not Stevie Wonder.
You gotta do the hair, you know.
Hey, it's a whole lot better than a lot of the comments we get. But but I'm just saying that I love that he did this. I love to see someone from my generation kind of put their foot down, and he went and attacked a whole bunch of people. He went after Kanye, he went after Drake, he went after Nicki Minaj, he went after Dame Dash, you know what I'm saying? And Dame Dash.
Who's the sister from Philly that Jaguar Wright?
Jaguar Wright, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he went after all of these people. So I mean, it was funny because I mean, it was great. I thought it was dope. It was real clever, and you know, you just kind of put everybody on notice that look, I'm still here. So I'd love to hear some new music from Jay-Z. You know, a lot of people from our generation been doing some stuff. Yeah, hey man, do it, man.
What was your best line, or verse, or?
I kind of like the line where he went after Nicki Minaj. Because he basically said her kin can't even pick up their kids. Yeah. He didn't call her Barbie. He just he made the kid, and it's just like exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, the way they broke it down, the way he played on Roberta Flack, Lauryn Hill,
Oh my goodness!
he
Yeah,
was killing it with that shit.
He is.
Yeah.
Hey,
He
Rick
was
Walls.
doing
Rick Walls used to make this argument. He says, "Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Jay-Z gets slept on, but he's a supreme lyricist. He's a person that really does stuff like his wordplay is a lot of the type of stuff that you got to think on. Like you may not catch it the first whatever, but you go back and you sit there going, damn, he put a whole lot of work in this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he is a brilliant genius. He is definitely in the running for the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? I can't say enough too much about him, and I'm proud of his success. I'm proud of his wife. You know what I'm saying? He's winning in life as far as I'm concerned.
That part to me where we said the teeth crumbling. That was, I was like,
this dude, it's like I've really been trying to defend Dame Dash. I really want to, because I feel kind of bad that things kind of whatever, but I mean he's constantly doing things where it's like, dude, just keep Jay-Z out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Just let that alone. You lost that. You can't win it with talking. You sitting there talking about shit breath and stuff like that. Got rats jumping around in the background. You know what I'm saying?
That was hilarious.
It's just like,
but what your friend's breath thinking for 10 years and you don't tell him anything? I don't get that. You're a friend.
And you know how long it's been? He's probably done something about that since. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you doing?
I think he felt especially isolated too, because he brought folks from The Rock on stage. He brought Benny. He brought
that was dope. How do we not mention that? The fact that he brought Siegel on there, how he brought Freeway on there. I mean, we got it, man. That was an emotional, beautiful thing, man. I'm just telling you, I love that whole event. I love how it played out. That was great. I love reconciliation. I hate that a lot of people from my generation, it's just, these cats is breaking up and stuff like that. But I loved it. Loved it. Salute.
So real quick,
go ahead.
Dave, Drake.
Yep.
Drake, real quick. Now I've been listening to that Iceman album. I love it. It's a great album to me, from beginning to end. The first, only Iceman. The other two, I still haven't listened to those. But the Iceman, great album. The music is so fucking beautiful. I fucking love that album, dude. Real talk.
I'm surprised to hear you say that. I did listen to the first 4 songs. I mean, they were good. I mean, I was like, this is, just vintage Drake.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll definitely go on one of my playlists.
Trash. Sorry.
He mentioned Farrakhan in one of them too. I think it's which is, I think what works against Drake is his inauthenticity. People just don't feel, it's just inauthentic. But he's a good artist. He emulates Black culture very good. He's an actor. I think he's an actor.
I can agree with all of that and still like it.
It's good music. It's good art. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I agree. He's inauthentic, but he makes some good ass music.
Yeah.
That shit like blow on me like green tea. I could just mess about.
Yeah, damn. I was just thinking about that one too. When I was like, damn. He said,
that shit is funny, man.
Yeah.
Nice guy just don't know what he's missing.
I'm sure that that Ghost dude, he came up with some witty line. I give him props for that.
Ghost writer.
But I'm not one of them dudes that clown you for Ghost. I'm Team KRS on this. I just care about the end result. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's a writer. A lot of those groups in the beginning, one guy was doing the lyrics for the whole group. You know what I'm saying? So I never clown a dude for not writing his lyrics. You're not necessarily an MC, but your burden is not to be an MC. Not everybody's burden is to be an MC. If you're a rapper, your burden is to be a rapper. Just deliver, and that's your job. You know what I'm saying? So, and he is, in my opinion, one of the greatest rappers of all time. He's got a great discography. He's one of those. He's like an underground dude's sort of like secret guilty pleasure. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that I just was not feeling this album. I'm not saying that I couldn't quite get there, but at the end of the day, I just, I didn't care for the production. I didn't care for none of that stuff. It sounded quality as far as production, but again, I like more gritty stuff. I like more, it wasn't.
And regardless of whatever credibility you give to Billboard, I don't know, you can say the numbers is fuzz, but he had 9 songs in the top 10. And if you add the top 15 or the top 20, he had 5 more songs. So it's like they're getting plays and people is listening to it. To hold it down, that is a record. To me, that's a record. They said he beat Michael Jackson's record, having the most in the top 100.
He is the voice of a generation. You know what I'm saying? He's the template of a generation. I'm sure Soulja Boy's got something to say about that. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, he's inspired many people. Their whole concept of rapping is based on Drake's music. So you know, he's got to follow. He is a master at his craft. I think that as an objective observer, you know, he's a person that defines a movement. So he gets to look at it and he goes, look, I do this. This is it. You need to come on my time. That's the way that he functions. But sometimes you need to step back and look at it and go, you didn't quite do it that time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I think his ego is the only thing that limits his greatness. But he is great. He's absolutely great. You know what I'm saying? So
and he gotta. If I could tell him anything, I would be like, man, you got to go confront Charlamagne. You got to sit out on that show with him and talk your talk. Don't sit here and let him just bully you like he been bullying you for the last decade, dude. Just go sit on the show and talk your talk. Let him know who you are.
Or send his avatar, what's that dude named DJ Academics, you know? Instead of cheerleader instead.
And I mean, not
does
doing
he even have it to the capacity to do like I can't recall seeing a Drake interview.
He only go to white people or to that the old the one that was on Rockefeller dude, but he hasn't sat down with authentic who people that we look up to or look to for the interviews. He hasn't sat down with him as far as I could tell. Like he needs to sit down. He should have sit down with DJ Academic if they're friends. Why he hasn't given Academic an interview yet? That's weird. You know what I'm saying?
I think he lacks the cultural wherewithal to do that successfully in terms of these black media spaces. I don't think he has it. And he's a studio gangster.
He's too culturally light-skinned.
Yeah, exemplified. I think he's the closest thing to AI. I mean, he's the closest, you know, he saw black culture from a distance, emulated it very well. And that's just, I think that's his territory. Outside of that, he sounds like a white guy, you know, just someone who did have a bar mitzvah, you know.
And if you're a visitor, I feel like you should be a visitor. You need to come with respect.
Yeah,
I don't think he has the respect, and that's what's kind of ridiculous because he's still going after Kendrick Lamar, and it's like, dude,
that's
you doing that for Kendrick a little bit, and Iceman.
Yes, he's still doing stuff.
Yeah, he did. Okay,
and it's just like, you know, dude, your best way to save yourself is just be Drake and make good, fun poppy music. Just let us vibe off of what you're doing and be happy. You're not the tough guy. And you're not the guy you're not the bar guy. You're really not on the level of Kendrick like that. Like that's really you dude, you're 1 and 4. You got Meek Mill, you know what I'm saying? You got Meek Mill, and maybe we need to question Meek Mill. But I'm saying, but at the end of the day, you lost all the other ones. So just dial it back, bro. Like just
So quick question too on that Ice album.
Shut up and
are there special guests? I don't remember the first 4 or 5 songs. I didn't hear a special guest.
Future's on one, and then he got some unknown rapper. I forget his name.
Future on both sides of the fence, huh?
Yep, I don't know how Future got placed on there, but Future's on there, and then on the other albums, I know he got like 2 or 3 songs with Sexy Red. And that's it.
Garbage.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's one song he should have had J. Cole on, that one with the OB. I forget the name of the song, but that's one of my favorites.
Oh, you know, I think
I want to be free.
I think there's.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad you said that, Floyd. You give me more confidence because I was listening to it last night, and I was like, man, this shit sound kind of cool. I was like, man, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's not cool. You know
I could play it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
The shebang. It sounded goofy to me at first, but my wife loved it, so I listened to it again, and I got it. Shebang, and then just don't. It's like it's funny, man. It's good shit. It's good music, man.
Well, you guys are a little bit younger than me, so you know maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm being an old fuddy duddy.
Yeah, you know what? Get off the lawn, dude.
Exactly. But all right, so I think we covered everything that I'm just looking up here, blah, blah, blah. Yep, that we did it. So I'm glad that we got to all that stuff. Brother Walk, you know what I'm saying? Salute to you, brother. Have you back next show. Infamous El Poo, same to you, brother. Next show. Student X, we're waiting for you, brother. It's okay, man.
Trump's anti-weaponization fund is dead. They officially killed it. They wrote, it's written on paper that it's dead. That's good news. Good news. The war in Iran is still going. There's claim that Iran may already have nuclear weapons, but that's a whole nother show. But you can look it up and see it and understand what the implications may be if they do have nuclear weapons. Why is Trump changing his tune? Will he release the $24 billion to Iran to get the Straits of Hormuz open? And guess what? It's going to get bad. They say the middle of June is the gas going to get worse. Things are start going to be coming up short. So it's coming. Just prepare for it.
What's up with this driver in LA, man? I'm like, where did he get all that gas from? That I don't know if you saw the news that Chase. Okay, it was like the OJ truck. It's a white truck. You should check it out. I don't know what they were chasing this man for hours.
Yeah, gas is too precious to be doing that. You get out and run.
Yeah, Jesus, man.
He must have stole the gas. He stole the gas. That's what
you you have any recommendations for Lamar? Lamar Garrett hasn't listened to Iceman yet.
Any recommendations?
Any particular song? What were your favorite songs?
Make them pay. Make them cry. And then Dust. Dust is like the second song. He say, all of my Atlanta, the women from Atlanta, they call me Santa. Women from Australia don't know what to tell you. But now I gotta let it drop. Now I gotta let it go up. And the beat break down, and then he just start killing them. Blow the dust off them plaques. Blow the dust off them plaques. He just start killing it. You gotta listen, nice guy. I'm excited. I'm about to go listen to it right now.
I'm gonna give it a real good listen, and
Iceman.
We're gonna find out. But again, you know, with all due respect, you think that MC Hammer is decent. You know,
MC Hammer was bad in his day.
He was bad.
Hammer.